You remember a couple years ago just how just horny we were when he got 19 targets in week one?
Yes.
The fact that I still remember like Darren Waller's stat line from like a game that he played 2 or 3 years ago should
Yeah.
tell you something.
It should, yeah. That's right back in the days where he was the tight end 2 and tight end 2, 2019, 2020. The only guy that was sniffing Kelsey's jockstrap back then. And even in that 2020 season, he had 5 more catches than Travis Kelsey. Just a lot more touchdowns ended up falling Kelsey's way, and he outscored him in fantasy. But man, that's the type of upside that is there with Darren Waller. Sure, he's only been the tight end 7, tight end 9 the past 2 seasons in points per game, largely due to injuries and suboptimal usage, in my opinion. I don't think you can't predict injuries, so maybe that happens, but I certainly do not expect suboptimal usage in a Brian Daboll-led attack. This guy knows how to maximize the weapons that he has at his disposal. He's used tight ends well in the past while he was with Buffalo. Dawson Knox had a 15 touchdown nearly season under his watch. So I absolutely think Darren Waller, who in early OTAs, everybody's just absolutely gushing for Daboll, Daniel Jones. Waller himself just saying how what a breath of fresh air after being under John Gruden and Josh McDaniels, 2 of the least player-friendly coaches you can imagine. Brian Daboll really incorporates his players, gets them in meetings. He just said right now it's a very empowering team to be a part of, and I couldn't be more excited. I believe my best days are ahead of me. We just talked about how some of his best days were insane. So if that's actually true, man, and the Athletics saying, Darren Waller, it would be a shock if he's not the target leader on this team. It's very rare you can find a freakish athlete, a main vein of the passing game, and a well-coached team and an ascending offense. All 3 of those boxes are checked. I would not be shocked at all, truth, honestly, if Darren Waller finishes the number 2 tight end in fantasy this year. I don't see him beating Kelsey, but if you told me at the end of the year we had a big resurgence and Darren Waller was the second guy, I would love it. He's studying in tape right now with their coach, Julio Jones, AJ Green. He says that we're not worrying about watching film of other tight ends. We're looking at the great big-bodied receivers, and that's how we're going to plan to use him. He's just that impressive of an athlete, is what their tight end coach was saying. He's moved around all over the place in OTAs. It's just there's actually no tight end I have more in underdog drafts right now because he'll fall off into 7-8 range, and I think he is just right there with the Kittles. And he's going after Kyle Pitts, which is just sickening. But he's right there with the Goddards and the Kittles, in my opinion. But you can get him 2 to 3 rounds later. So there's been no tight end I'm more heavily invested in right now than Darren Waller. Wouldn't be shocked at all if he's the number 2 guy when everything's all said and done. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments, check out some more videos, and join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.